Weekenders, it's Mrs. Panschow here again today on a beautiful, bright, sunny day. And we're so excited that finally spring has come. I hope you're enjoying the good weather too. Well, I have a book for you today, and this one is a classic. It's a Robert Munsch book, The Paper Bag Princess. And you'll be excited to find out what funny things Robert Munsch is going to do in his story today. So let's read it together. Elizabeth was a beautiful princess. She lived in a castle and had expensive princess clothes. She was going to marry a prince named Ronald. Unfortunately, a dragon smashed her castle, burned all her clothes with his fiery breath, and carried off Prince Ronald. Elizabeth decided to chase the dragon and get Ronald back. She looked everywhere for something to wear, but the only thing she could find that was not burnt was a paper bag. So she put on the paper bag and followed the dragon. He was easy to follow because he left a trail of burnt forests and horses' bones. Finally, Elizabeth came to a cave with a large door that had a huge knocker on it. She took hold of the knocker and banged on the door. The dragon stuck his nose out of the door and said, "Well, a princess. I love to eat princesses, but I have already eaten a whole castle today. I am a very busy dragon. Come back tomorrow." He slammed the door so fast that Elizabeth almost got her nose caught. Elizabeth grabbed the knocker and banged on the door again. The dragon stuck his nose out of the door and said, "Go away. I love to eat princesses, but I have already eaten a whole castle today. I am a very busy dragon. Come back tomorrow." "Wait," shouted Elizabeth. "Is it true that you are the smartest and fiercest dragon in the whole world?" "Yes," said the dragon. "Is it true," said Elizabeth, "that you can burn up 10 forests with your fiery breath?" "Oh, yes," said the dragon. And he took a huge deep breath and breathed out so much fire that he burnt up 50 forests. "Fantastic," said Elizabeth. And the dragon took another huge breath and breathed out so much fire that he burnt up 100 forests. "Magnificent," said Elizabeth. And the dragon took another huge breath, but this time, nothing came out. The dragon didn't even have enough fire left to cook a meatball. Elizabeth said, "Dragon, is it true that you can fly around the world in just 10 seconds?" "Why, yes," said the dragon, and jumped up and flew all the way around the world in just 10 seconds. He was very tired when he got back, but Elizabeth shouted, "Fantastic! Do it again." So the dragon jumped up and flew around the whole world in just 20 seconds. When he got back, he was too tired to talk, and he lay down and went straight to sleep. Elizabeth whispered very softly, "Hey, dragon." The dragon didn't move at all. She lifted up the dragon's ear and put her head right inside. She shouted as loud as she could, "Hey, dragon!" The dragon was so tired, he didn't even move. Elizabeth walked right over the dragon and opened the door to the cave. There was Prince Ronald. He looked at her and said, "Elizabeth, you are a mess. You smell like ashes. Your hair is all tangled, and you are wearing a dirty old paper bag. Come back when you are dressed like a real princess." "Ronald," said Elizabeth, "your clothes are really pretty, and your hair is very neat. You look like a real prince, but you are a toad." They didn't get married after all. The Paper Bag Princess, written by Robert Munsch, illustrated by Michael Marchenko. We loved reading Robert Munsch books when we were in school together. And This one is one of his very first books that he ever wrote. If I was going to do a retell of this story, I would try to think and picture in my mind things that happened at the beginning, the middle, and the end of the story. So at the beginning of this story, Elizabeth was going to marry Prince Ronald, but a dragon came in and took him away. Then she decided she needed to go and rescue him, but she didn't have any clothes. All she could find was a paper bag. So off she was to rescue Prince Ronald. She tricked the dragon into using up all his fiery breath and tricked him into going all the way around the world and getting so tired that he fell asleep. Then she was able to go into the cave and rescue Ronald. But instead, he wasn't very happy with how she looked, and he didn't want to be rescued anymore. So she gave up on him, and she left as happy as could be. The Paper Bag Princess teaches us a lot of really good lessons about it's not about what you wear, it's about what's inside, and about things that you can do to help other people. I'm glad that Elizabeth decided to leave Ronald where he was, because he wasn't acting like a very nice prince. The Paper Bag Princess. Lots of great Robert Munsch books. See if you can find some in Bookflix this week. And I can't wait to see what book you're going to pick for your retell that you're going to share with me at the end of this week. Take care, Kinders. Have a great week and enjoy the beautiful sun.